Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MBR Show, episode 14. It's pretty awesome. We're your hosts. I'm Scott.
I'm Christian.
And hope everybody had a great week, because we know we did.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is just, about touching base on some of the new comics that came out in the last 2 weeks. I say 2 weeks because, due to time constraints, we couldn't make our episode last week, so got to catch up a little bit and let everyone know what's going on right now.
Right. We're also going to talk about some of the news, some of the announcements.
Oh, yeah.
For newer comic books and events and everything. So, Axis is right now the current event, Avengers X-Men for Marvel, and I'm not going to spoil too much because it's the first issue is really long, but you really have to read it. It's really good. Essentially, Red Skull ends up getting the powers of Professor Xavier, and he becomes Red Onslaught, and essentially the X-Men and Avengers have to team up to stop him. So that's what that event is about so far, and I really like it. The artwork is great, the writing is great, and those writers are going to be taking over newer projects too following Axis.
And I'm really excited about where the storyline could go. I think the sky's the limit pretty much. I mean, especially when you have two mega forces of superheroes teaming up together, it's always a good time.
Yeah, there's a funny joke in it. The Beast came out and he said, "I would say everyone assemble, but that would give the Avengers a little bit of an edge or something." A little joke in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like to review on things that might be a little bit older that people might have forgotten, give, a fresh new perspective. So, I borrowed this guy's version of the graphic novel Hush, the Batman series, and I'd say about 65% of the way through it, and I really, really highly recommend it. I can't wait to find out what's going to happen next. Basically, it's like right when you think you know who's behind everything,
Yeah.
It's like, nope, you sure don't.
Hush is one of those characters that shows up now and then, but you don't really see him in animated movies or even live action, and it's one of my favorite Batman villains. So I really want to see him eventually on screen. You haven't even seen Darkseid in a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But some great villains that you want to look forward to. So we'll see what happens there. Spider-Man 2099 is a great series I've been reading. It's Miguel O'Hara pretty much in this time period, it's really cool to read that. And then Axis is going to have a spin-off with Secret Wars in 2015 that's been announced. And Alex Ross is the artist, and he's one of the best. If you haven't seen any of his artwork, check him out. Alex Ross, easy enough name. Jonathan Hickman is writing it. He's doing God is Dead right now. He's done Infinity. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. He's really good. And Secret Wars is going to last over a year. It was a series in the 80s, and now they're doing something different with it. So...
Yeah, and then there's the other big secret that came out that they're going to reboot the Civil War series for, I think they said 1 year.
Yeah, I don't know how long the event's going to be, but the cover art was pretty much Spider-Man in his Iron Spider suit, and then one side of him being ripped by Iron Man, the other side by Captain America.
Yes, and again, we got to talk about it real quick. Please, people, stop reading into all the hype. It's a reboot for the comics, not for the movies.
Right. If writers for movies can draw the line between comic book and movie, you guys should be able to too.
Exactly.
Not everything is taken directly from comic books. Most things aren't. So it's just an event that Marvel announced for comic books. It doesn't directly translate to any kind of film thing or anything, because then you could say, Secret Wars or anything like that. So don't take it to heart. That's really our opinion, but we like to think it's true.
Exactly. So. We like to think that our opinions matter to some people. Some other comics that I think I've mentioned on one of our last comic updated shows. I started reading the Unwritten Apocalypse series by Vertigo Comics. Not sure who the writer is or who the artist is, unfortunately. But it's a pretty weird comic, that's for sure. Basically, throughout the first issue, and I've only read the first issue, main character, he's basically stuck in these fairy tale worlds. He dies and comes back repeatedly till he catches on and finds a way out. And basically his friends are waiting there for him. He's like, "Oh, you're back," and then his friend's like, "Oh, well, you're back now, but you could have helped us stop the apocalypse." And it's like, wow, just like now it's like, okay, what happens next? So if you guys haven't started reading it, or never had an interest, I definitely think the storyline's gonna be compelling. So definitely please check it out.
Yeah. Something else is Earth 2 #1 came out a couple weeks ago. Well, it's like end of the world or destruction or doom or something like that. It's not the same as the Earth 2 story that's on like 27 or 28 right now. Yeah. But it's pretty much Alan Scott, the Green Lantern on Earth 2. He does something really dumb, and the world's gonna end. Yeah. So it's essentially a Trinity War. So it's really cool. If you don't know Trinity is Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Those are the Trinity, and it's the Trinity War because they all die, and so it sparks a war. So that's it's really interesting. Earth 2. So.
Yeah, and then there's I'm reading a lot of different series right now, just trying to play catch up. But also Loki, Agents of Asgard. I'm on issue number 3 now, and I gave you a little review, and it's just a really good comic book so far. I definitely highly recommend it if you guys just want to read something a little different side of Loki that you kind of don't really see.
Yeah, I haven't read it, but I know Doctor Doom's on a couple of the covers, and I really like Doctor Doom, so it'll be interesting to see the role he plays in helping or hurting Loki's road to whatever he's on a road to.
Yeah, he's on the road to redemption, basically. He basically is tired of being a villain, kind of.
Yeah. So I think comic books right now are overall really good. Like, I haven't read Miss Marvel, but I've heard great things about it, and she showed up in Amazing Spider-Man #7, which was great. So I don't know. I would just pick up anything, any #1s, any graphic novels that are out right now. I know the graphic novel just came out for the first part of the Daredevil series. I think it's 1 through 6, and they're up to 8, so you're not too far behind.
Yeah.
And one of the reviews was on that series alone was like Wade and Sam, they're the people who are writing it. And everything. They're like, this is what a comic book is. This is what it should be. This is what everybody should strive to write. So check it out. It's great.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to my comic book store this week, Metropolis Comics. Go pick that up. Definitely some other series you can definitely check out. Some ones I'm reading now, as I said, Loki, Agents of Asgard, Unwritten Apocalypse, Nova. When the newer Nova, the on-running issue is like... it's like about Nova's son, actually. So
yeah,
those are some not too mainstream stuff that you guys can definitely get into. That's all I have right now.
Yeah.
For,
look out for our reviews next week. We'll be reviewing The Last Pendragon, I think it's called, next week, and some other comic books. So just keep a lookout for that. More of our normal shows. Constantine airs this Friday.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
So we'll probably be reviewing that. We might just do a video right after it or something. So
yeah.
I think that's it for this week. I'm Christian.
I'm Scott.
And this is Nerdy Boys Reviews. So stay nerdy, boys!